Good guys, you might Aries Tao here. Today we are going to look into V1 combined with other lights. V1 is on-camera flash. There are a couple ways of using it. Of course, you can use it as an on-camera flash straight away. Most of the time, you can get away with TTL. If the distance is a bit too far, then sometimes manual works better. So the on-camera flash has been popularized for the last couple of years. If you look at those fashion magazines like, Gucci or Miu Miu, the on-camera flash has been there in the campaign. We're going to do a couple of on-camera flashes here. Just remember, the modeling lights will help you, number one, to focus on the subject. Number two, to see where the lights to falls, so you can tilt the head of V1 to focus on the subject's head. And the lights will fall off of her body. Yeah? How much fall off you want? You can utilize that by using the zoom function. By zoom 105, that really helps to focus on her, head area, and her lower body is going to be probably very dark. By using 28 on the wider angle, and the whole body is going to have a similar luminosity. I would usually keep my modeling lights between 0 to 5, so it's bright enough for the camera to focus, but it's not strong enough to affect your flash. I hope that makes sense. The second way, of course, will still be using V1 as an on-camera flash, but rather than point it directly towards your model, you can tilt the head and reflect somewhere. Most of the time, in the indoor, you can reflect it off the ceiling, or sometimes you can reflect off the wall. And here, because where I stand, I'm a bit too far from the wall in the back, I find reflected off the umbrella really help in this case. Most of the time, if I'm shooting half body or close-up, reflected off the umbrella works like a charm, and you don't need the stands. But you'll see that V1 starts to struggle a bit if we back our camera further away from the model and try to do some full body shot. In that scenario, I find use off-camera flash works better to control the light direction as well as the power. The third way of using V1 is you can use V1 as both on-camera flash as well as a trigger to trigger the off-camera flash. You see with S200 on the top, it creates dimensions, it's beautiful lights. For my personal taste, the shadow is a bit too dark. When I add in V1, it lifts up the shadow details. In this particular scenario, it's almost like two harsh lights doing the clamshell, and even makes Janet, who's the model, her eyes pops even more. So with V1, you can do both on-camera and off-camera flash at the same time with a minimal setup. So that's the third way I would use V1 for. Indoor, you can bouncing off the ceiling, bouncing off the wall, but here you can see that the ceiling is pretty tall and dark. Bouncing off the wall, you can see it's kind of yellowish, dark stone wall. It's not really ideal. So I will do most of my shoot with on-camera flash point direct towards the model. Of course, you can combine that with other lights. Here I will just use S200 because it's such a small light, so it's not too intrusive, if that makes sense. It's glowing 360 degrees. It's my favorite field lights for the indoor shots recently. Okay, let's review what we did today. We can use V1 as an on-camera flash, point direct to the models. Make sure you use zoom functions. Modeling lights will help you in the darker environment. You can also use V1 as an on-camera flash, but tilt the head to bounce off some surface. It could be ceiling, it could be wall. In this tutorial, it's the umbrella. And third one, you can use V1 as an off-camera trigger to trigger S200 or trigger any Godox lights. The fourth, you can use V1 as on-camera flash combined with some off-camera flash to have a multiple light setup with a minimal effort. I hope you guys like this episode. This is my Aries Tao. I will see you guys in the next video.